It could be conducted in all sorts of Discord groups, Telegram groups. It doesn't necessarily have to come from the top down. I don't think
because
that the
if we're talking about who is responsible
helps.
for it, then we need to look at one, who's committing it more, of course.
We're not just talking about that, though. We're talking about who conducts more of it.
Right. So if we want to talk about who conducts more of it, and we really want to read through the CSIS study, I mean, we can talk about it. There's a reason why. Like, we can, but like, it's going to be real boring. And the problem is, at the end of it, you're either going to say, well, I don't agree with the methodology, and then not provide an alternative methodology that somehow parses through the numbers that you're satisfied.
Bro, it's Andrew Wilson, dude. He doesn't need studies. He just needs to have semantics. He's the semantics person. Don't you know? Oh my God.
With, and it's ultimately not going to get us anywhere, because you're never going to say, well, the right does it more.
That is not how science works, Soy. Science does not work where you...
Bro, not the conservative, not the fascist saying that's not how science works. The same kind of fascist who would advocate for capital punishment, executions, death, destruction, and violence as a means to secure the fabric of society. Oh my God.
I have an experiment or some type of data collection here which is easily falsifiable, and you have to replace it. That's not how that works. I don't need to give you alternatives to
well, to be clear, you're claiming the left does it more, and your evidence is I can name a bunch of things and look at these videos, and when I say a study, you can poke holes in it, and that's totally fair. That is how science works, but you have to give me either a better study with better methodology, or go through and parse through the cases used in this study and say, this is how they all are classified under my methodology, and how then the numbers would add up, and then show me that new graph. But if you can do neither of those things, I'm going to choose to actually use the study in the way that it works, and you can just be not okay with it.
Let's use your own study.
Sure.
Okay.
So do you have the CSIS one in front of you?
Since Trump was reelected, this is according to Cato.
That's not my study.
It is.
No, it's not. It's the CSIS one.
Dude, if you shut up, I'll show you.
Okay.
The left has killed 2 times as many people, according to the CSIS.
Oh, okay.
The one that you're referencing, the left-wing terrorism is at its worst in 30 years.
Yeah. Are you talking about the little bar at the end where the left-wing terrorism has gone up by a little compared to the previous year, and then the right-wing bar is still extremely large? Because you're looking at the very last year that's not complete. Is that how we're going to disprove my study?
I just told you that according to Cato, the left's killed 2 times as many since Trump's election.
In the year since Trump's election, so you're only going to...
Just by the way, okay, it's so funny because if you actually get to the substance of any debate, like when it comes to substance, Andrew has nothing. Like, he is actually nothing. Like Vince Wilson is like if Tectone was actually like based. That's Vince Wilson, okay? The guy who looks like an eraser, okay? Like he he's Tectone if he was actually based. But it's just kind of funny that like he just falls apart. Like, oh my God, Andrew Wilson just falls apart when it comes to substance like related issues and substance related debates. Oh my God, he's so cringe, so pathetic, so disgusting. Oh my God, this is like who he is, like truly at his core, by the way. Like at his core, he has always been a snivelly little bitch. Okay, there is nothing to him. There's nothing to admire about him, and there's nothing to really celebrate about him either. Okay, like he ultimately at the end of the day, he's just sad. He's a sad little boy. Okay, trying to like fit his own little like insecurities in this sad little fucking fantasy world, okay, where he can be glazed by chat and his own audience all day, but the moment you go onto stage and you try to present yourself like this, like forever you'll be tainted, okay, in a way.
Just selectively look at 8 months, just to be clear. So, to be clear, if your argument is the left is more violent in the past 7 months exclusively, and we only look at that.
Oh, remember, there's this Cope laugh, okay? Whenever he laughs, his audience like has like some kind of device in his head that automatically turns on and tells them, oh, he's laughing because he's winning. No. Andrew is laughing because he knows he wants to appear confident to his fan base, okay? Whenever he laughs, he's trying to appear confident, when in actuality he's very, very insecure about himself, okay? Obviously speaking. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. I mean, that's just demonstrably true.
Wait a second. When was it that the left became completely mobilized towards violence. Was it under fucking Biden or was it under somebody else, Soy?
Who do you mean like when Trump was in 2016, like his first term, or do you mean current
when they
Trump?
did mass protests before against Trump, and now we see the cycle repeating again?
Hold on, because you're talking about BLM, and you're talking about the Summer of Love, and now you're only able to look at the... You're like, okay, I'll use the stats, but only if I can pick out this very last bar of this last year, which I'll agree with. I'm saying, yeah, actually, this is true. I'm not contesting this study. I'm agreeing. The left has been more violent in 2025, according to the study, in the very last year. Now, if we're talking about exclusively that, I don't know which debate you signed up for, but I signed up for as a totality. And you can look at this. This is graph. I mean, I'll pull it up for my audience. I can't show it for everyone.
This is perfect.
But it's pretty funny to look at this and say, oh, yep, this is definitely a left-wing problem.
This is perfect.
I mean, I don't know.
Oh my god. Dude, left versus right. Oh my god. So the right is like the gray and the left is like the orange. But the only thing that Andrew Wilson has been talking about is like the last year right here. So cringe, dude. Oh my god. He's so disingenuous. By the way, Trump has been president for this long. So this period right here is how long Trump has been president. So he just ignored everything leading up until this period. Very nice. It's just beautiful.
If you want to bring that up,
this is the funny thing
this
about
this. Will never let us finish an exchange. Go ahead. Go ahead, Vince. I'm sure whatever you're about to say is important. Go ahead.
Yeah, here we go. So now that you're here. So the issue here is that you're pointing to this, but I remember when Trump was in office the first time, and we do have...
I don't know. I can't even understand the guy. So anyway, back to you, Soy Pill.
I'll wait. It usually only lasts 2 seconds. I'll let him come back.
It is garbage. You know what? I'm going to hang on, Vince. I can actually help you with this. If you have mobile hotspot, turn your mobile hotspot on and shut off your internet. Yeah, turn your mobile hotspot on. So anyway, back to this, Soy Pill. Actually, now we're getting somewhere. So this is actually great. So you made the concession. You agree. Left-wing violence.
It's not a concession. It's an agreement of objective reality that you, by the way, have for the past hour said is not true. But now that you're looking at the last year, you're like, yep.
Bro, dude, he's so condescending. Like, he's not even helping. Like, he technically, he is helping him, but he's doing it in a way where he's, like, trying to, like, big bro, lil bro him, right? He's trying to lil bro him. Yeah. Like, he's, like, desperately trying to cling onto any kind of, like... He's desperately trying to cling to any kind of, like, oh, I'm so badass points, right? He's trying to, like, fucking grasp any degree of badass points back. Yeah,
it's true. So no, it's not a concession.
Okay.
Go
ahead. So anyway, I'll try to finish the point because you know you're about to get fucked here. So thing is on the CSIS, if you make the concession that it is the case that under Trump, left-wing violence is much higher, killed 2 times as many people. You agree with all of this. You're making the concession there. The thing that's really funny is this is why I want to go through the methodology. Because if you make the concession that the left is far more violent right now, and I agree with you, all that's left is whether or not the left has been violent this entire time, which is why we need to go through the methodology of the rest of the study. You see how that works?
Okay,
because
so
if you can demonstrate the rest of the study, you're classifying things.
No, because you're assuming that the methodology is perfectly fine on the last year, but you're like, but what? So why the fuck are you okay with the methodology on the last year only in order to show your point?
Things wrong, but we can agree the left is more violent now. We've won the fucking debate, Soy.
To be clear, no, because the debate is not, is the left wing more violent in the current year? Is the who's more responsible for political violence? Second of all, if you want to start on the axiom that we can concede that both of us agreed with this study for this one particular year.
No, you shouldn't repeat back. Not to this motherfucker, okay? I'm sorry, okay? No, he doesn't deserve it. Okay?
But then we have to go back and meticulously pick it apart for all the other years. No, absolutely not. You're either accepting of the study or you're not. And if you so if you're looking at this last year and you agree with it, if you agree with this study's methodology, then okay, I accept that you agree with this methodology, and then we can look and see that the right wing is overwhelmingly responsible for political violence as a whole for most of human history, or not human history, excuse me.
What?
But no, yeah, excuse me, that was a mistake. So for most of the history of the study, no, I don't mean all human history.
Yeah, I understand. I'm not going to be a pedant, but let me just
so like so I don't understand why you're.
Oh, I'm not going to be a pedant, says Andrew Wilson. Dude, this guy is like the definition of pedantry. Wait, pedantry is like fucking being anal and being like cringe and like debate pedophile, right? Pedantry. excessive concern with minor details and rules. No, he's pedant. Like Andrew Wilson is 100% a fucking like fan of pedantry. 100%.
You're able to cherry pick and then go
he's
through
a
the
pedant.
methodology and not just look at the methodology.
Yeah. If I had a study and the study said that 100% of people who eat dog shit don't like how it tastes, right? But 20% of white people or black people like how it tastes more than Mexican people. Can we agree that both of us could look at the methodology of that study and agree 100% of people don't like eating dog shit? We've now agreed. But we could have great differences on the methodology for how we came to that 20% number. Do you agree that that's true?
I agree that that's true, yes.
Okay,
but then
so
why are you saying that it's a concession in the last year if you don't necessarily agree with the methodology yet?
Trying to explain. So when we go through the methodology of the classification, my concern there would be actually that it's discounted and it's even higher than they're claiming. But I'm willing to concede the point even on the CSIS on the end. If you are, we can go through the classifications for all of these other years. And boy, if it turns out that they're not classifying these things correctly, then we can do some type of rough calculation to see which one of us is, or which side is actually conducting the most amount of political violence.
Okay, so to be clear, you're not agreeing with this last year because it is a methodology you agree with, because any of the things that are demonstrated are true. It just happens to show that you're right. So if it showed the opposite, you would immediately discredit it. So why even call it a concession?
What are you talking about? That has nothing to do with what I just said.
You literally just said I could concede. I guess you said I could concede on this point, but I actually think it's wrong. It just happened to be right in the correct way that I already agreed with. It was my presupposed notion. So why even bother pointing out that last year whatsoever if you're not going to...
No, that's my point. That's literally my point. That's what I was talking about, by the way. Like I said, like, why did you point out the last year, like, supports your point if you're questioning the validity of, like, the way that the study is being done for the first few years? Like, what is the point in like, looking at that, right? Like, you're such a bad faith motherfucker. Like, you're just bad faith. And this is like this can easily be used to demonstrate how bad faith you are, right? Like, this is the definition of bad faith. Like, there's no better definition of bad faith than this, right?
Qualifier? What was my qualifier? I actually think that left-wing violence, even this year classified, is higher.
Yes, yeah.
But I would be willing to concede the point at least that in this year it's higher if you do. But we do need to go through the rest of it.
Again, it's not a concession.
For the
I
purpose
just
of
agree
classification,
with telling me
to make a determination if you agree with these classifications. Both of you are unwilling to do it because you don't believe the classifications.
Okay,
you don't believe them.
No, let's go. All right, we can do it, but I promise you by the end...
Bro, I feel like I'm watching one of the most bad faith interactions of my life, dude. Like, I refuse to believe that, like, Andrew Wilson is this, like, this is another level of bad faith, dude. Like, this is like, holy shit, dude. Oh my god, dude. Oh my god. How do you even listen to him? Oh my god.
You're going to say, well, because the classifications aren't the way I would do it, and I haven't done a comprehensive analysis of these numbers in a way that shows that what I believe is true. Therefore, I discredit the study. I have no other option to show that the left wing is more violent. I just feel it's true because I've seen more of it, and that's the end of the debate. Like, it's going to be a huge waste of time, but let's do it. Let's go through it.
Yeah, and I want to mention this too, Soypill, before we jump into this. Andrew, in his opening statement, said all the claims will hinge on studies. Soypill will likely tell you the truth. And then and he'll bring up all these studies. He's saying all the claims will hinge on the studies. He's dragging us into talk about these particular studies when we're like, hey,
look, your arguments hinge on
studies.
The things that your argument hinge on.
The only person here that wants to talk about these studies is Andrew.
The only person here who wants to talk about your evidence is Andrew. That's crazy. It's almost like we're in a debate.
I want to talk about it. I just don't want to read the whole study and then get to the part where Andrew says, "Never mind, I don't like it," because I think it's going to be boring. But yeah, we can do it.
The conversation. I mean, the evidence.
Okay, well, let's try it this way. If you don't want to go through it, maybe we can just try it this way. So, would you agree with me? Would you agree with me that there's going to be problems in the methodology of classification that you likely aren't going to agree with in that study? Yes or no?
I think every study is going to have at least something that I would say, I'm not sure about that, but I would still use it as an aggregate and showing what is happening, unless there was something major. Why? For example, if they said something here, well, here, listen, Andrew, because I want to give you this. This is a concession.
What are you talking about? It's like, studies are not the end all be all. Like, studies have to be peer reviewed. There are sometimes aggregations of studies. Studies sometimes are like retroactively said to have problems. Like, there's so many fucking reasons why, like, a study, like, beyond like not beyond the shadow of a doubt is like true or not, right? It's always good to question a study. It's literally always good to question a study. Why the fuck are you cherry picking the last fucking year of a study like a fucking bad faith moron retard? Okay, you absolute bad faith moronic, like stupid, like inbred retard. Okay, you disgusting, pathetic piece of shit. Okay, you absolute dishonest, pathetic inbred hack. Okay, you chromosomally challenged, okay, insecure man. Okay,
right? If this study, and this doesn't do this, but if this study said right-wing violence includes something like Wahhabist Islamic terror attacks, even though that I would acknowledge why they might say that, because it's like, oh well, because you can classify this as right, to say that something actually. Like well, to say
it does include Muslim terror attacks.
No, it actually doesn't. It actually has an entire other classification for this.
I know what you're talking about.
Religious extremism that is not left or right, and there's a good reason for that, because you can't really say, oh boy, all 3,000 people that died in 9/11, that's right-wing violence, because that would be ridiculous.
Actually, I believe in the CSIS, the way that they come up with right-wing affiliation is through religion. Just so you know.
There are parts of religious extremism that can be classified in the study if you've read it, but not just religious extremism, which is its own other thing. So, for example, a Christian nationalist terrorist attack, like with Dylan Roof, would be a right-wing extremist, but the fucking 9/11 attacks wouldn't be. And that's why I'm saying, if there was a methodology that extreme that said, yep, right-wing includes 9/11, yeah, I would say that's an incredibly flawed study that we can't take seriously. I don't think that exists in here, but if you want to point me to something that is like that flawed.
Have you read that study?
Yes, I've read the CSIS. I haven't read it word for word, but I have looked through it.
And what does that mean, though?
I'm sorry.
Like, how much of it have you read? How much?
Truth. It's like 10 pages, so I've read like 6 of them.
Dude.
Like, I don't know what you want.
Here's the thing, man. It's like, this is where the disconnect is. How are we supposed to even have a good faith debate over which side is conducting?
It's the most bad thing. Oh my god. He's talking about how are we supposed to have a good faith debate, insert like fucking Andrew Wilson reasoning here. But meanwhile, he's been so bad faith the entire time. I feel like every single time I come back to like continue this debate, like I feel like some like new ridiculous thing keeps popping up that makes me fucking lose it, dude. Oh my god. This guy's like one of the worst faith motherfuckers to ever exist. Holy shit.
The most amount of violence. If it's the case that the thing which you're banking on, which is evidence from these organizations, you haven't even read the very studies that you're banking on.
So to be clear, the things that I looked out for, because I knew you'd bitch about it, were the methodology, how they classified the different types of violence, and specifically looked out for major egregious things, like the one I just mentioned. The one I just mentioned. Those are the things I did read through. Something I didn't read through would be, for example, if I scroll down to the end notes, which take to the end notes that have 2 pages I didn't read.
In 10 pages?
What?
You just said you read through the methodology in 10 fucking pages, dude. Give me a fucking break.
The entire thing is 10 pages. I'm not. If there's a more in-depth version of this study, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the domestic terrorism brief that has been released that describes the methodology, the classifications, that shows the graphs. Yes.
Link it over. Let's take a look at it.
This is my problem with like debates like these, where you like introduce a study and you use that as your key point of evidence, because we really haven't seen many evidence coming from our opponents other than this study. And all this,
to be clear, this is also one-to-one, very closely mapped on by the DOJ, so it's also the government agrees with it.
I'm almost finished with my point. Look at this number here. Oh, look, my study shows this number. Let's not look into the number. The number is just what it says. And no matter what the classifications are, the methodology, no matter what the situation is. Well, okay, so here's my proposition. When we're analyzing which party is more responsible, we have to see the ideological backing and the influence that the party has had over the actions and mental states that cause these people to commit these violent acts. And we should also look at the impact that they have had. And when you look throughout history, modern history, the largest scope and scale of political violence has occurred from the left. Your presidents aren't being shot at. Your influencers aren't being shot at. You don't have conservative college campuses that are throwing riots and protests.
Wait, by your own metric, John, can you point to these people that tried to shoot Trump as having downstream messages disseminated by like Democratic politicians? For example, Thomas Crooks, which I still don't know if we've even established that as
blue. He donated to Act Blue.
Did he not also like donate to a Republican Party and or vote for them? Like, can you show that the rhetoric is like contributing to this? He also had plans to shoot Joe Biden. I don't know if you knew about that, but like the whole point is like,
I tell you, the Charlie Kirk assassin.
Well, hold on. Do you see? Okay, you just moved off the point completely, John. Please, like, answer the question, because I agree.
Dude, Andrew Wilson looks like he's going through it. He is a whiny piece of, like, it's very clear to me. Like, it's very clear to me that everything Andrew Wilson does is like to present this like faux pas, like alpha male. But like it falls apart the moment that he debates anyone with like substantial who actually recognizes what he's doing. Because it shows, like, I just feel like Andrew Wilson is like constantly trying to make up for the insecurities that he feels constantly every day. Yeah, I think that's what's going on. He's trying to show that he's very macho for his audience. And he's trying to show that he's also intellectual, but then when it actually comes to like the substance of these like disagreements and debates, he loses every time when it comes to substance. The only thing that he can argue on is semantics, and this is why he solely tries to debate on semantics, because it's the only part where he can win. Because when he debates on semantics, then he gets to be very pedantic about things, right? He can be a pedant about things. So like, yeah, that's why he's like kind of fucking pathetic. Okay. Yeah, because again, that is like the bad faith methodology, I guess, methodology that Andrew Wilson uses. It's very cringe. Yeah, that. Okay, who did I raid into? Let me take a look. We'll continue that another time, okay? I kind of like slowly, very slowly going through that debate, okay? As like an end stage kind of thing. Oh, wait, hold on. I should probably save this for next time as well. J-Stalk, right? I believe it's J-Stalk that I kind of want to cover because he probably went over on the new Pixie motion thing. Cringe. Very nice. Okay. All right, cool. Awesome. Who do I rate into? Another RuneScape player, most likely. All right, who have I never rated into? Mr. Al. Okay, we're rating into Mr. Al. All right, guys. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys.